it's Jenny. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. So today we are finally filming this long-awaited video for you guys. It's basically gonna be a Q&A or like an engagement video, kind of, because we recently got engaged in November, so I guess it's not that recent. But we wanted to put out a video out there explaining everything and how it went down. The engagement video is on my YouTube channel, but we don't talk about anything, we don't explain it. It's just kind of like what happened and like just like a little montage, like cute little video. It's not that long. So a couple of people had questions. How are you guys feeling? When did you know? Just a couple of questions. So we're just gonna answer those for you guys, and then we're gonna be filming another video on just like an update and how our wedding planning is going, especially during COVID. So if you guys want to stick around for that video, that'll be out soon. Don't know when. Our first question was, I'm gonna ask for both of us, because she just said, were you totally surprised or had a feeling? Oh, I guess that question's for me. So he proposed in Texas. We had flown out to Arlington to go to a Dallas Cowboys game, and I had a feeling, but because it didn't happen when I thought it was gonna happen, I completely did not know. So it just threw me off guard. I was thinking if he was going to propose in Texas, it was gonna be halftime at the game, or I don't know, something like maybe when the game was over, or like before the game, or like, I don't know, just like a cute moment during the game. I thought it was gonna be on game day. So when he didn't ask me, I was just like, okay, well, it's not gonna happen this trip. So then the day after, we took a private tour of the stadium, and he proposed in the locker room. So I was completely surprised. Like, I had no idea.
You did a good job.
Yeah, you did. So someone said, when's the big day? I can't wait. So right after the engagement, we had no idea. When we told people we were engaged for the very first time, everyone was like, oh, when's the date? But we didn't know. We hadn't talked about it.
It literally happened like within that hour, and they're already asking, oh, when's the date?
Yeah, but we now have it, and it's October 1st. A lot of people don't know, but that's actually going to be our 2-year anniversary of us dating. So yeah, the big day is October 1st of 2021. Are you guys planning on having kids?
Definitely.
A bunch of kids. We want a bunch of kids. I want a bunch of kids. But I don't know, I can change my mind after the first one. I've always asked him, oh, how many kids do you want? And he's like, I don't know, like, that's up to you, because you're gonna be popping them out. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with like at least 2. It's her choice. Because, I mean, I can say I want 5 kids, but if she don't want 5 kids, then... And she wants more kids than I do, actually.
Yeah,
like, she wants an army.
Yeah, I want like a whole like football team. That's basically what I want. Or like a softball team, a volleyball team, basketball team. I don't know, just I want a whole team.
I just want a golf team.
So one? You just want one kid?
Duos.
So they can play Scramble? Oh my god. When did Charles know you were the one?
I don't know. I think it had to be within like that. Like, it was like within like a week or 2, I ain't gonna lie. Like, after we had met, like, actually had our first little date, I just loved her energy, and that was about it. I just knew. I mean, like, everybody, of course, has that first little spark, you know, and you're just like, oh, like, you know, you're talking to somebody new. You kind of wish for that to stay, and honestly, it never went away. Like, that energy and like the feeling never went away. No, after as many times as we've seen each other, after talking all day, every day, that fire burns out, and everybody knows that you could be into somebody for like 2 days or something, you know? Mm-hmm. Both of us weren't overthinking anything. This fire, like, it just never went away, and I was just waiting for it to go away. And honestly, it still hasn't went away. So, like, it's just different. Her energy was just different, and I don't want to live my life without her. It's like, I need the energy for the rest of my life. No. So honestly, I knew pretty soon though. Back to the question, I knew pretty soon. That was an awful topic, but yeah, I've been waiting for the one, and I knew when I was ready to commit, and I knew she was the one pretty early on.
It was so funny because, so he has a song, I'm gonna pop up a picture of it, and it's called The One. And
Oh, yeah.
I feel that song had came up for some reason, and I was like, oh, like, have you found her? Like, have you found the one? And what did you say?
I said, if you asked me, like, it was like already a month or like something.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, if you asked me like a couple of weeks ago, like a month ago, I would have said no.
And then he was like,
But now,
oh, no, I might have, or something like that. Like, and I was like, oh, snap. Like, okay, I see you. Like, yeah, it was so cute. But go listen to that song because it's a really good song. How did you pick the ring? Like,
how did I pick it?
when did you get it?
I don't remember exactly when I got it. When did I say I got it?
I think like June.
Yeah, it was literally like probably like 6 months before the game, and we had been talking about it, and like I knew that she was the one. So yeah, I literally just went online one day and I went to the jewelers that I usually get all my jewelry from. And I was just looking at rings and looking at sets, and I don't know, I didn't know anything about rings or anything like that. So I did my research, and I felt like going into finding a ring, I just wanted it to like represent me, represent like my style, and just something that was meaningful, you know. I didn't really know exactly what I was looking for, but I just knew that it had to feel right. So I ended up finding the ring, and I sat on it for a couple of days. Like, I didn't know if that was the one I wanted, but it was just literally screaming my name. And the ring is called Love Song, so it just makes it even more like perfect.
And he did ask me, I don't know, just like, you know, questions that you talk about with your boyfriend, like, oh, what kind of ring would you want? You know, like, blah, 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 like, what's your style? And I had told him, I want you to pick the ring. The only thing I told him was I didn't want, like, a square diamond, because I didn't want it to get caught on anything. But I was like, but I want you to pick it. But I'll show you guys my ring. So this is what it looks, don't mind my nails, they're not done. But this is what it looks like. I feel like it's really like perfect for my size hand too. Okay. When did you know you were gonna propose at the stadium?
I literally knew the day we got our tickets to go to the game. I had mentioned to go to the game to my cousin because the tickets were cheap during COVID and the flight and everything. And the Cowboys were one of the only stadiums that were allowing people to go. So Michaela took Christine, and my cousin Michaela said that Christine was down, and her husband Chris, and I was like, okay, whatever. Like, we kind of do that. Like, we always say we're down for something, but then it just like never happens sometimes. You know, you guys know how it is. And one day I was at work, and they called me three-way with my two cousins, and they were like, because she was looking at packages and sending me layouts and prices and everything. I'm like, oh, this is really about to happen. So long story short, we ended up getting the tickets that exact day they called me, and it wasn't even like in the plan. So we just got our tickets, and then like that night, like I knew like it was a perfect opportunity because I've been wanting to ask. I just, with COVID, we couldn't really even do anything at all. So I wanted to be special. I wasn't trying to just do it at a house or anything, you know. I wanted to go out and do something, or, you know, make it special. Something to remember, and I felt like going to Dallas was...
That was perfect.
Like, what else, you know, what else could you ask for? Go to Dallas, to the Cowboy Stadium, and everything just worked out perfect. And we vlogged the whole thing. That was one of her main things. She was like, I want it to be recorded. I didn't think she thought it would be recorded like that because we recorded like the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool.
How did you get to propose in the locker room? Was that your plan all along?
How did I get to? No, I mean, that was not the plan. I was planning to do it on the field, on the actual Dallas Star. Because usually on the private tours, they let you walk onto the field. But they had taken the field off the night before because, right after the game, because they're having the championships for PBR. It didn't go as planned, but we had already talked to the guy that was getting us the private tour, so he knew, everybody knew, and we had let him know that we were going to do it in the locker room, so he kind of set it up where it was just us, and it worked out perfect.
Yeah. Where will we be living? We're going to be living in the Fresno area. Don't know where specifically.
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
Fresno, Clovis, though, for sure.
Yeah.
We haven't fully decided, but...
That's just gonna come with, like, when we start looking for houses.
Yeah.
So we don't know exactly where, but yeah, we're gonna be staying here in Fresno. Sorry, Mom. How were you feeling before you proposed?
Okay, well, right before I proposed, I was kind of nervous. I wasn't nervous the whole time until I was about to propose because my beautiful fiance was a little moody. Because she was really hungry. Well, she hadn't ate all day. We were running around and we had to pack. Because right after the tour, we went and jumped on the flight back home. So she hadn't ate none of us ate all morning. And I feel like everybody else was fine because we all knew what was going to go down. Besides her, like,
yeah,
because she didn't know, so she wasn't like energized, you know, like none of us were probably thinking about food.
Everyone was just like, oh, it's gonna happen, juiced, and I was like, I was literally walking around like this with my arms crossed because like towards the end, I mean, I was fine in the beginning, but when I start getting hungry and like I can feel my stomach start eating itself, like I get really quiet and I don't have any energy. Like I'm just like, because usually I'm bubbly, like I have a bubbly personality, so I'm just like all over the place, always talking, like, so when I get hungry, like I just shut down. So I started to walk around like this, like holding my stomach because I can feel my stomach like was eating itself. So I was just like walking around. So I mean, it kind of made him nervous, but I mean, I didn't know, you know, like I would have completely changed my mood if I knew.
Yeah, but I was a little nervous because I was just like, and she was really like not having it. Like we went to the cheerleader. Okay, well this is when I first realized it, but she really had been feeling that way. But we had went to the cheerleader's locker room, and then she just like stood by the door and just standing there with her arms crossed. So then I was like, is she mad because we're in the girls' locker room? Like, am I not supposed to look at the, you know, around at the pictures? Like, I didn't really know, so I was kind of like catering and trying to like see what was wrong with her.
Yeah, because he like multiple times throughout, like when I started getting hungry, he was like rubbing my back and he was like, oh, are you okay? Like, how are you feeling? And I kept like telling him like, yeah, like I'm good, like I'm just hungry.
I don't know. I was nervous, of course. Who wouldn't be nervous? But yeah. It wasn't. From a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a 7, 8.
Okay, so this girl said, also, you should talk about marrying young because I've been trying to convince my man that I want to be with him forever and he hasn't gotten a ring yet. So any advice?
Honestly,
marrying young. Do you think you're getting married young? It just depends on certain people. I'm 23.
I'm 27.
Yeah. And my mom got married at 22. So my thought of marriage, like how old you were supposed to be or like how old, you know, like I always refer to my mom because like, I mean, back then they got married super young. My grandma, I don't know, probably like 15 or something, and she had 10 kids. Nowadays, I don't feel like it's young. I just feel like if you're mature enough and you're ready, you know, like if you know.
We both kind of, well, my grandparents have been married for like ever, going on like 60 years, and they got married really young too. And I like basically grew up with my grandparents, so like I've always was inspired by them, and
yeah,
they're really traditional too, like with the whole, you know, married young and learn how to work things out together. I feel like our generation now, like marriage ain't even a thing anymore, you know, so
because once things get hard, it's like the easiest way out is to just break things off instead of working through them.
Yeah, and that's why people don't get married and then they just move in together and they get mad and there's no strings attached, so they just leave, and it's just like, you know, a constant thing. That commitment is not there. I didn't think it was possible either, honestly. Like I didn't think I was gonna meet somebody that I actually wanted to marry, you know, and she came along, and you know, I just know from her family they're really traditional, and
my parents,
she was like that, and she believed in that, and it just, her believing in that just gave me hope, like, oh, maybe this really is a thing, like this really can happen, like traditional, like old school, how, you know, it's kind of supposed to be done, like not supposed to because everybody has their own opinion, but how we feel like our tradition and how back in the days how it used to be, you know. I mean, I don't even feel like we're really young. It's not like we're like 15, 17, you know. When you're married, you have to work things out, and you're gonna get through things as a couple, as one. So I'm excited for that, and I'm just glad we both see things kind of the same way.
Yeah.
I feel like, guys, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, ladies, like, you can't force your guy to want to marry you.
Yeah.
And especially, I mean, no disrespect, but if you're like if you're treating him already like a husband, like what's his motivation to go get you a ring if you're already doing all the wifey things? Like
Yeah.
honestly, like, that's how I feel, and I feel like a lot of guys think like that too. Because I'm a
That's
guy,
true.
it's like, if you're doing all the wifey things and like you're living together and you're supporting, like what does a ring matter if it's already that?
It's already
you know?
happening.
Yeah, but that's my opinion. Like, everybody has their own opinion, and we chose to just take our own route on this one. And yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited. Like, if you know, you know. And if, guys, you do know, like, if you're with your girl right now and you
Do
know,
it.
just do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
So our last and final question is, when's the baby coming? We're pregnant!